Hi everyone, and now for your aviation weather on Thursday, August 8th. Meteorologist Joel Curtis here. So let's start out with our flying weather Friday morning. We've got extensive IFR off the north slope. Some marginal VFR has worked its way onto the shore, and then we have extensive IFR along the Brooks Range. Lots of marginal VFR all down the west coast into southwestern Alaska out to the Aleutians. Also south central with lots of marginal VFR due to all the moisture that's moving up from the south. We also have extensive IFR in the central and western Bering Sea approaching the Pribilofs. And then we have a good area of IFR from about western Prince William Sound across the North Gulf Coast, and then staying offshore generally or right up to the beach for the southeastern Panhandle, and then also marginal VFR for the Panhandle on Friday morning. For Friday afternoon, that IFR still remains generally off the coast out over the Gulf, but marginal VFR across all the almost in the entire Panhandle, and then over to Prince William Sound, and then down out into the Gulf. Lots of VFR flying across the state on Friday afternoon. We do have indicated a chance of some thunderstorms right along the Alcan in the vicinity of Eagle. You'll see that it'll be easy. If any of those form, and it is iffy, those cells will be easy to see and avoid. Also, thunderstorms indicated over British Columbia, and some of those cells might move it into southern southeast Alaska, and we'll know better as the day goes on here with better data for that. And then looking out toward the Bering Sea, we do have a few thunderstorms associated with that system and all the tropical moisture that's coming in with it. Lots of IFR across the central Bering Sea on Friday afternoon, and lots of marginal VFR right in the Dutch Harbor area into Nunivak Island, and then on up to St. Lawrence, and then some through the Bering Strait and on up along the coast of the North Slope. So for Saturday morning, that IFR area moves all across the Aleutians, affects the windward side of the Alaska Peninsula, as well as a little bit into Bristol Bay. Got the Pribilofs and Dutch Harbor too. Also some IFR along the western part of the Alaska Range, and then marginal VFR up through the Bering Strait, pretty much into the western and central Brooks Range, and some along the Beaufort Sea coast as well, with a little bit of IFR just offshore. And then for southeast Alaska on Saturday morning, lots of IFR stretching all the way from Prince William Sound across Yakutat, and then just about the entire Panhandle will be IFR. But by Saturday afternoon, for the Panhandle, that's going to change to about marginal VFR all the way over into South Central as we get another shot of moist flow on Saturday afternoon. IFR along the western part of the Alaska Range, as well as Kodiak Island. And then as we look to our western area, most of the Alaska Peninsula, IFR, and then IFR across the Pribilofs down into Dutch Harbor, but marginal VFR into Bristol Bay and then up to St. Lawrence Island, and then that marginal VFR area remains off the North Slope coast. So now let's look at our pass reports. For Anatuvik Pass, we've got IFR becoming a VFR in the afternoon. Same thing for Attigat Pass, IFR becoming VFR. Lake Clark and Merrill Pass, of marginal VFR becoming VFR. Rainy Pass, marginal VFR in the morning becoming VFR. Windy Pass, marginal VFR becoming VFR. Isabel Pass, same thing, marginal VFR becoming VFR. Mentasta Pass, marginal VFR becoming VFR. Tahiti Pass, same thing, marginal VFR becoming VFR. And then for Friday in Portage, marginal VFR expected all day. Chilkoot and White Pass, marginal VFR expected all day on Friday. So for our freezing levels, our high freezing levels are over in Canada, and then we get about up to 12,000 feet just about to the Alcan, and then you see it dropping off as it moves to the west. Finally, over the Bering Straits, about 2,000 feet, with 4,000 feet dropping down to the Alaska Peninsula and Unalaska Island. And then it starts to ramp back up again, all the way up to 14,000 feet as you get farther to the southwest with that tropical air in that system that's moving up into the Bering Sea. So that sets up our icing. So we have isolated moderate icing up along the northern Alcan and then down through Kotzebue Sound, Norton Sound, Seward Peninsula, and then we get in an area of considerable moderate, and that looks like it's going to be right about above 6,000 feet or so, and that's where the moisture really starts because it's ramping up out ahead of that system. And then as you get further south and westward, it's above 10,000 feet with some considerable moderate over the Dutch Harbor area and the southern Alaska Peninsula. So that's it for your aviation forecast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Please file a flight plan and fly safe out there.